Debbie and her son Dylan wanted to stay in the same neighborhood that she was brought up in all her life. Found the right house, got a home inspection. Obviously, there's problems. I'm not just gonna do a home inspection, I'm gonna do a Holmes inspection, and I'm gonna make it right.
I grew up in this neighborhood and very familiar with it, feel very safe in this neighborhood, and it's the perfect size for us. I took a look at it and was really happy with the layout and the size. This house backs onto a green space, and there are schools that are within walking distance for my son, both junior and high school. There's creeks and a toboggan hill, soccer fields. Everything that we need for him is within walking distance through this path out our back gate. The day that we were going to do the inspection, I was running late, so I called the inspector and said, we might need to postpone this because I'm not going to make it on time. He said that was fine, he would come and he would start without me. So he started the outside without me around, and I was about half hour late. And by the time I got here, he'd already completed the outside. And then I joined him, and we walked around the rest of the house.
You must be Debbie.
Mike.
I'm Mike.
Very nice to meet you.
Absolute pleasure to meet you. If you don't mind, can we start on the outside, since I've heard so much in the report that the problems are outside?
Yeah, come right around. There didn't seem to be any major issues. They were all very small, not in terms of financial costs. There really wasn't anything of significance.
Oh, I don't like seeing this. We have bad grading.
Yes, it swamps right here when we have a lot of rain, or even just a small amount of rain. We get a lot of water build up right at the bottom here of the step.
And that makes sense. Somebody's pulled out the downspout from the weepers. Good. The problem is that it's only a short distance away from the home. But do you have any flooding issues on the inside of the house right there?
I have, yes. All the water from the very back of my yard, side of the yard, from the house, all runs to the same spot, which is underneath my dining room. And there's a crawl space down there, and the water is penetrating the crawl space wall. The water damage has been there for a long time. This isn't something new.
Not only do I see a low point right here, this is about the lowest point, it even gets lower when it comes to the house. And what we don't want, the water's gonna run down to here, it's really gonna sit here, it's gonna trickle, find its way in, and obviously get to right here where it's gonna get into the house.
Yes.
And it wouldn't surprise me, you definitely have water issues in the inside of your basement right here.
Yes, that's exactly where they are. I don't know how the inspector didn't spot these grading issues. I can stand and see them, and I'm not trained to see these things.
I don't like the way this peak roof comes in and creates a very low slope roof. I did not read that in the report.
When we do have a heavy rainfall, the downspout can't manage the amount of water that's coming to it. There's pitching roof lines that all lead to one spot, so I get a bit of a Niagara Falls coming over the dining room window. So my first winter here was full of surprises. The first thing we noticed, my son and I, is that our living room is freezing. I looked in the attic and discovered that there is no insulation over my carport, nor is there any kind of barrier wall to prevent the cold air that's rushing through my carport from getting into my living room.
Do you know if the inspector was in both attic zones? Because right now I know there's two.
The inspector was not.
Why?
I do not know. The second attic I noticed shortly after moving in, and I do remember thinking to myself, I don't remember this in the report.
So this is a
this one needs a lot of work.
Have you stayed in this house at all?
Yeah, it's...
I didn't read anything in the report about this.
No,
it's just a shed. It's
I wouldn't think they'd even look at that. All the kids want to come play in here, but I just don't think it's very safe. And it also gets hornets and wasps that go into the roof, so it's
probably
when I'm doing stuff with the pool, I have to walk through like this.
That's usually not good. Let's go inside.
Well, as it turns out, it looks like there's water issues and critters.
Right at that point?
Yes,
not
absolutely.
a surprise to me. Raccoons, once they live in there, they want to go back in there. Your pool water is really bad.
Well, yeah, we haven't.
I'm kidding.
We haven't done that yet.
Yeah, you haven't got it ready for summer.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Come in here.
This is where the roof meets your house.
Yes.
Do we have any water issues here? I see a slight crack here.
Yes. I came home one day and there was a stream of water running into my dining room. There's a huge puddle of water on the floor here. So I got out the buckets, opened the yellow pages, and called a roofer. So he did a quick fix for me, broke up some ice that was up there to stop the water flow. He also noted that the water was actually penetrating on the wall in my dining room as well.
Obviously, water issues, which were probably not present when you saw the house, and I'm going to assume the inspector.
Again, I don't know if that was there or not before, but I'm guessing it wasn't, because it was freshly painted in here.
Well, I see a new roof up there, right? That's a fairly new roof.
Yeah,
so that
which was a selling point.
So this was all like this. You didn't make any changes.
Exactly.
Nice fridge,
just
nice
some
stove.
Cosmetic I did, but.
So you're just like a little designer, aren't you?
Yeah, right.
You are. I like this. It's a very cozy home.
Yes.
Unique though, eh? It's like our basement here. What's under here?
This is crawl space.
Crawl space. Can I get to it?
Yes, there's access
Because I
to
read
crawl
nothing
space.
in the report about the crawl space.
And I know I can remember standing right here with the inspector and talking about the crawl space and asking him specifically if he saw any water damage down there.
Okay, and he said?
Nope.
Well, it's not in the report.
Looks fine in here. Looks fine down there.
Let's go take a look at it.
Okay.
You know what? I love crawl spaces because they just give you so much storage.
Yeah, it's I thought it was great that I had all this extra room down here.
So we definitely have a lot of signs of water coming in here, and the reason it is dirt, and we can see because the water will always grab the dirt. So this is signs here, signs in the corner here. Now, is it a foundation issue? More than likely right now, I'm going to say that this issue is from grading, and it's allowing the water to penetrate and hit the foundation. So the first thing I would say is let's address the grading and see whether or not that stops any water. But we'll reverse. Let's beep, 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 beep. The only problem with a crawl space is that's what you have to do, is crawl.
Yes, you literally have to crawl.
Yeah, we have
The family room downstairs in the house has a gas fireplace.
That electrical line that leads to the fireplace
Yes.
is wrong.
One day I discovered in my storage room, which adjoins the fireplace, that there was something plugged in there, and the wire was running under the wall. Turns out it runs under the wall to the fireplace.
It's exactly what it does. I could tell it was an extension cord that they put into a box to run the feed in to power this up. Now,
So you can see the extension cord?
yeah, look, right here. Amazing what happens when you look for something. You bend down here, you see it right there?
Oh, wow. The fireplace has a fan on it, but the only time the fan works is when you're actually pressing the button.
Truth is, this only requires about 25 watts for the fan. It doesn't require a lot of electricity. But if it's not wired correctly, can it create a fire hazard?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I have had situations where the pilot light has blown out and the gas is on. It's a family room. It's where kids come and play. And the design of it is not a safe design. And the inspector never noted anything about the dial being broke, about the wire running through the wall, about the fan not working.
Hey, hold on. You have a flex gas line that runs to the fireplace. This tells me whoever installed that fireplace is not a proper installation fireplace guy, okay? Why?
Okay.
This is your feed line, it says natural gas right on that wonderful sticker, which is great. See how that copper line comes up and touches the ductwork?
Oh, yeah.
Now, because they touch, the two metals don't like each other, okay? And you don't touch copper against this ductwork because it will interact and cause a problem. The last thing you want is a hole in this copper pipe because it has gas in it. I don't like this. I'll tell you right now. Keep the electrical away from gas if you can. You know, let's not have the metals touching. All right, I mean, this is all done properly. We see the trunk that's from the old furnace. It's done properly and ties up. And here's our T for the hot water heater. And I do not like this joint here, and I definitely do not like this joint here. Because if for any reason off-gassing comes back out of here, it comes into your house. Okay, you have a gas dryer.
Yes.
I think that line's too thin. I think that's too small for your gas dryer. How's your dryer working for your clothes?
For a new dryer, I have to run it a couple times to dry stuff.
Maybe it's not getting enough gas to fire what is needed. Now, I'm gonna bring in the right people, but because I see this, I would have put it in the report and said, bring in an HVAC guy, make sure all this works, double check the gas. I read nothing in the report about the gas, about the exhaust, about the gas to the fireplace, the electrical in the fireplace.
I expected Mike would come in and see that there were some of the issues that I have noticed since I've moved in. I really didn't anticipate that he would find what he has found, and he hasn't even done his inspection yet.
Might as well start on the roof to take a look at the roof. I mean, such a small area. Just look at the eaves trough here. I love spring. Listen to those birds. This size of eaves trough right here, because you can see the peak that comes right to approximately here. Now imagine all the water on that roof up there just coming down in a pouring rain, coming right down to this point here, and it overflows like a waterfall coming down here. It's not a bad job, really. The roof, you can clearly see the elbow right there on the bottom of this eaves trough here, and it's just really diverting the water across here, which means all the water up here, this roof all come right to here. Not the best valley. I wouldn't have done it this way. If you can see, they did this roof first and then this one. The problem is a lot of the water's gonna hit here and come rolling this way. With this slope of roof, in this case being under a 312 pitch, it looks like it's around a 212 pitch, meaning for every 12 feet is 2 foot rise. So 2 foot at that end, 12 foot run. That's what we call 212, 312, 412, and on. If you shingle a low-pitch roof, you have a greater chance of ice dams. It says right on the bundle of shingles, do not use on a slope under a 412 minimum 312 pitch. In winter, melting snow refreezes near the eaves trough, creating an ice dam. Any moisture behind the dam backs up under the shingles and it'll find its way into the house.